Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin for those of you that are new here, and if you're not, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I'm going to be taking you through a recipe for this incredible vegan Caesar salad. Oh, there she is. Look at that. Feast your eyes. What? Oh, with homemade croutons. And as I'm sitting here eating it post-cooking, I'm gonna tell you what, it's so bomb. I made this for myself and Kevin just a couple of weeks ago, and I have romaine lettuce in the fridge that's ready to go, so I need to make this, and I thought that I would share the recipe with you guys. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you give it a like and subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss a new video. I had so much fun filming last week, homemade banana pancakes, and then the little vlog with Grandma. It was so nice to see her, and I hope that you guys enjoyed that last video bringing Grandma back onto my channel. That aside, let's get right into our delicious Caesar salad. Okay, so we'll be starting with almonds, equal parts of almonds and water. I'm going to boil some water on the kettle on the stove, and then we have to soak these almonds for 15 minutes. That way they soften, because this is going to be the base of our salad dressing. Cashews would be another great option if you don't have almonds on hand. I did a 1/3 cup of the almonds, and then once the water is boiling, I will do the same amount of hot water, 1/3 cup over the almonds. Right now I'm snacking on what is literally the best store-bought granola. This brand is organic bread of heaven, and this flavor, it's heavenly cookie crunch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so good. So if you ever see this in store, highly recommend. So good. Now in the meantime, while the water is boiling, I'm just going to grab this little single serve blender, and in that we're going to put the rest of our ingredients for the salad dressing. So starting off with 2 cloves of garlic, and you don't have to chop them up or anything, just because we will blend it, so really easy. The water is starting to boil. Let's turn that off. Hot water, just to cover the almonds. I totally forgot to measure that, but as long as your almonds or cashews, as long as that's covered, I'm going to put a timer on for 15 minutes. Then you want a neutral tasting oil. So I'll be using an olive oil, but you can also use avocado or grapeseed oil, 1/4 cup. If you would rather not use oil, I fully respect that. You can sub in veggie broth as an alternative. Juice from a whole lemon. By the way, so I started with half a lemon that was just in the fridge, but a little pro tip, when you're pulling out a lemon like this, like a little, that was aggressive, that first one, to hit on the kitchen counter and then roll it out, it actually makes them more juicy. Well, that's what we want, right? So a little roll out, and then already it gets softer. Next, a little Dijon mustard. I would say a teaspoon. Yeah. Then in with your rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, apple cider or white wine vinegar would also work as well. Teaspoon of that. I'm not in a very measuring mood, I guess, today. Now we're moving on to capers. They kind of look like peas, but they're incredibly salty and full of flavor. Tablespoon. And literally this right here, this is your dressing. All that we're waiting on now is the almonds, and they have another 10 minutes to soak. So in the meantime, go sit down, do your daily meditation, read a book, close your eyes, throw your legs up the wall. 10 minutes, and then we'll be able to blend this up. Now in the meantime, just because I'm trying to be, as effective with my time as I can, we'll move on to the croutons. Keep my bread in the freezer just because we don't eat a whole heck of a lot of it. I'm going to take out and defrost 5 pieces of bread. Throw these in the microwave, and I love this Ezekiel bread, super clean, super healthy, nutritious. I'm going to pop this in the microwave just for 10 seconds to defrost it. Then with your bread, just little bite-sized pieces, like think of croutons in terms of the size. Oh, jumpy one. These croutons are so good and so easy. Much like I was saying with the pancake recipe, you look at an ingredient list on croutons and, you just don't even know what half the stuff is. Last one. Timer was for my almonds, cashews, whatever nut it is that you're using. Make sure that you do keep the water, because we're dumping all of this. Don't drain the almonds. Keeping all of it and just putting that right in your food processor, your blender, whatever it is. And then needless to say, just blending all of this up until it's smooth. And what I love about this is not only does it taste like a Caesar salad dressing, but it looks like it too. Get it? Then you can taste test. Oh, that's so good. Taste test if you need to add something more, just adjusting it to your liking. And then we'll come back to, not breadcrumbs, we'll come back to our croutons. Pre-measured everything. I'm using olive oil, drizzle that over. And make sure that when you pour it in, you're not just dumping it in one place, really drizzle it over top. And then you'll do the same thing with lemon juice. I'll have the exact amounts that I used in the description box below. And then for my dry herbs, I'm using garlic powder, which is primarily what's in here, dried thyme, smoked paprika, and then a little bit of sea salt. Sprinkle that over. I like to give it one coat, move it around, and then do the same thing until you have used all of your dry seasoning. It smells so good. Preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Lining a baking sheet, whatever your preference is, either parchment paper or foil. Croutons, you'll lay them out evenly as you can. That way they all can get a little bit crispy and crunchy. Pop this in for 20 minutes total time, but I'm going to set it for 10. That way I can move them around 10 minutes in. Just before I put the croutons in the oven, we'll move on to our bowl of greens, romaine, and you finished the kale, right? No, and just using the romaine lettuce. And once you do get it all in your serving bowl, I like to mix it up. That way the dark green and the light green, you can kind of see all the different colors. As a heads up, it does get quite a bit thick. If I were to just blend it up again, that will make it a little bit thinner, but if you find that it is still too thick and you want it a little more drizzly, a little more watery, you can either add more oil, more vegetable broth. You can even do a non-dairy milk or just plain old water. So I was good with just re-blending mine up. That made it far more liquidy. I'm gonna use about half of this. And when you really get in there, it even looks like there's Parmesan cheese because of the way the dressing blends together. So good. Yesterday, a whole platter of sugar cookies were made, so I feel like for balance, today we make a big salad. Ugh. So you can see they're just starting to get crispy and brown. And I'm just gonna move them around so they don't stick. I'm also going to flip pan around. And then 10 more minutes. The croutons are just about to be done. I'm going to top the salad with some hemp seeds. Since we have this little guy in the fridge, I'm going to also add some avocado. Dice that up into little cubes. Spoon it out. And last but not least, our croutons. And just for a little color contrast, a couple shakes of crushed red pepper flakes. And that's it, my friends. Top to bottom, I would say this took me no more than 30 minutes. Looks so good. It tastes even better. Everything is homemade. You know exactly what you're eating and how it was prepared, which just brings me so much joy. That always makes me so happy, knowing what's on my plate and knowing what I'm nourishing my body with. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss a new video. It literally mimics a Caesar salad without the anchovies, without the eggs. You get awesome crunch, which texture is like a big deal for me, especially with a salad, just because it makes it like more interesting while you're eating it. So you have this awesome crunch from your homemade croutons and then the creaminess from the dressing. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I do have quite a bit of croutons still on the cookie sheet, and I definitely have some salad dressing left over. So what you can do is put that in a little bowl, put the croutons in a little bowl, and then put those on the table for when you're eating, and that way if people want more, then they can just add that onto their own plate. And I think that's all that I have for you. The croutons are so good. They're like dangerous. The first time I whipped those together, we just, like myself and Kevin, we could not stop eating them. They were gone, like this whole tray of them was gone the first day. I'm not gonna eat this whole bowl, but I'm hungry and I wanna try it. This will be our dinner. I mixed in all of the croutons because, yeah, it's so good. Do keep an eye on the croutons though, because they're quick to burn. They go from perfect to burnt really quick. So just be careful, that way you're not wasting all of that bread. Who else can relate? I could cook all day. Literally, I could be in the kitchen all day, not a problem. I despise doing the dishes. And I know that makes it worse because I'm like thinking that I hate to do the dishes, and then while I'm doing them, I'm thinking how much I hate to do the dishes. Cooking, fine. Just the cleanup, such a drag. Anyone else? 10 minutes later and I'm still sitting here eating this because I can't stop. The avocado, I didn't do that the first time. This time that was just like, oh, well, we have one cut open in the fridge. So good. If you have avocado, throw it in here, but not in the dressing, just the same way that I did, dice it up. Again, it's a texture thing. It was really good. So if you have avocado, I would highly encourage you to add that in.